Residential sales comparison and income approach. Page 3. One of the applications of substitution in the income approach would be applied in the determination of market rent. The informed market participant will not pay more for rent on one property than he will pay for a comparable rental. Or on the other side of the equation, an investor will pay no more for a property than what he can acquire another property for that has a similar return. For example, if a 1,000 square foot property can generate the same return as a 1,100 square foot property, the small property would be a better investment. Substitution. Extra note: the larger, the more the cost to maintain. Anticipation. The principle of anticipation implies that value is created by the expectation of future benefits. It is easy to mistakenly associate anticipation as being related only to the income approach. While it is true that the actions of typical investors are most clearly based on the expectation of future benefits, such as an anticipated income stream, quite possibly the most obvious example, the principle of anticipation is embedded in other valuation methods, such as the sales comparison approach as well. Individuals purchase their primary residence anticipating its benefit to satisfy their housing requirements. Vacation homes are purchased with the expectation a knowledgeable buyer typically will not pay more for a feature than what it would cost to add that feature to a house that does not have that feature, or that an informed renter will not pay more in rent than he would in rent for a comparable dwelling. Extra note: 89% of Americans only invest in their homes. Sometimes you can't find good comps in some neighborhoods, South Valley, and have to justify why you can't find good comps. Many people lost their homes anticipating only paying so much, and something don't it by not pulling in $200 a month. Something about it only applies to the income approach, and that's pointing towards such as an anticipated income stream, quite possibly the most obvious example. 1. Roland Medrano. 2. Ken Wells. 3. Jeff Weeks. Highest and best use. The most profitable, legally permitted, economically feasible, and physically possible use of a piece of property. Hypothetical condition: that which is contrary to what exists, but is supposed for the purpose of analysis. Intended use: the use or uses of an appraiser's reported appraisal, appraisal review, or appraisal consulting assignment, opinions, and conclusions as identified by the appraiser based on communication with the client at the time of the assignment. Intended user: the client and any other party as identified by name or type as users of the appraisal, appraisal review, or appraisal consulting report by the appraiser on the basis of communication with the client at the time of the assignment. Jurisdictional exception: an assignment condition that voids the force of a part or parts of USPAP when compliance with part or parts of USPAP is contrary to law or public policy applicable to the assignment. Limiting conditions. Statement by the appraiser explaining the framework used to reach the appraisal value. Primary data. Data that is obtained directly by the appraiser. Principle of consistent use holds that land cannot be valued for one use while the improvements are valued at another use. Progression. A principle that says the value of a home is positively affected by the other homes in an area, usually said about the worst home in the best area. Regression. A principle that says the value of a home is negatively affected by the other homes in an area, usually said about the best home in the worst area. Scope of work. The type and extent of research and analysis in an assignment. Secondary data. Data that is compiled by other parties and used by the appraiser. Seller's market. A situation in the real estate market where sellers can choose from a large number of buyers looking for a property in an area. Specific data. Information that is relevant to the subject property. There are two types of specific data. Substitution. Theory that an informed buyer will not pay more for a home than a comparable substitute. Extra note for highest and best use. Economically feasible is breaking even.